Hello everyone. A warm welcome to first edition of Automation Dreamin. In this session, we are going to see how to develop a reusable invocable Apex method for flows. Myself, Meera or Nair, and I am currently working as a solution architect at UST. A little more about myself. I am 2 times Salesforce MVP and 21 times certified in Salesforce. Currently, I am leading Trivandrum Architect Community Group and also I am a co-leader of SIMA, which is an architect study group. I am a Salesforce Trailblazer mentor, community speaker and blogger also. This is our agenda for today. We are going to see some of the high-level capabilities of flows and why we need to call Apex actions from flows. We are going to introduce a method of how to invoke Apex actions from flows, which is in reusable format. And we are going to explain that approach using 2 use cases. One is a screen flow and one is a record triggered flow. So what are some of flow capabilities? Like you all know, there are different types of flows available nowadays. Screen flow is one of the most popular type. Earlier, when you wanted to create some customized screen for users, you had to develop that using Visualforce or Lightning Web Component. But with the introduction of screen flows, you can build simple to medium complex screens using screen flows. Second category is record trigger flows. When you want to do some operations based on a record create, update or delete operation, you can achieve that using record triggered flows. As an example, if you want to send a notification to some user when a new account record is getting created, or when a new contact is getting created, you want to update something on the parent account. This kind of use cases can be achieved using record triggered flows. Platform event triggered flows are another category. So platform events are very similar to objects, but they can be used to communicate to external systems. We can consume platform events internally also. A popular use case is when you want to throw exception using platform events. Later we are going to see how we can use platform event for exception logging also. Another category is scheduled flow. That is, if you want to execute some bulk actions based on a particular scheduled time, you can use scheduled flows. As an example, if you would like to archive or delete all old account records which are older for 5 years, you can use scheduled flows. Integration is another capability of flows, but there are some limitations, like you will not be able to call all kind of endpoints from flows. So only APIs which is in Open API standard you can consume from flows. Now, when flow is having this many capabilities, why we really need to do Apex calls from flows? So here are some reasons for that. When you want to integrate Salesforce to external systems from screen flow or record trigger flow, you might need to use Apex again. We have seen external service is an option, but it is not supported in all type of protocols. So in the case when we need to call a normal REST or SOAP APIs, you still need to utilize the capabilities of Apex. Another use case is when you want to perform some complex business logic which is not supported in flow, or sometimes when we are trying to execute very complex logic using flow, the performance might not be that much great. These are some scenarios you might need to again utilize the capabilities of Apex. Now, we are going to see how you can write an invocable Apex method. So here you can see it looks like a normal method itself, and it should be static, and do object DML operation is the operation name. Basically, this is going to be a common method or invocable method to insert any kind of records. And you can see there is an annotation added to this particular method called @invocable method. So this is must for any kind of Apex methods that needs to be called from a flow. And if you see the parameter or variable passed to this particular method, you can see it is a list of flow inputs. Now let us see what is flow inputs. It's actually a wrapper class created by me, and it contains 3 variables. And you can see all the variables should be annotated with invocable variable method. And the three variables are like, first one is a list of sObjects. This is how this is going to be reusable. That is, instead of specifying a specific object type like account or contact, you can nowadays mention it is as a list of sObject itself. So this is a feature I think got added to Flows as part of summer 20 or 21 release. And this is how the Apex can be reusable. Instead of specifying a specific object, you can now specify a subject type. And the second parameter is the operation type. So this is going to specify the operation is going to be insert, update or delete. And third variable is object type, whether it is account or contact. Now, later we will be seeing how we can invoke Apex action from flows. Normally you will be able to create a new action and you can call the Apex DML method that you have created. Now let us see this in detail using one use case. The first use case is screen flow, and the requirement is to create account or contact. So I want to build a screen where the user can select the object needs to be created and then create a record of that object by entering the required details. Also, if the record creation is getting failed, I want to create an exception record with details. This is what we need to implement. Before getting into the technical details of this, first I will show you the invocable method that we have created. So there is a class that I created called flowUtil. This is how the class looks like, and you can see there is an invocable method created on this particular class, and it is called, the method name is doObjectDML operation, and like we mentioned, it is accepting a list of flow inputs. We have defined flow inputs here with three variables, and also there is an output variable which just contains the DML result, which is a string parameter. So we have this structure defined here already, and inside the method what it is doing, it is actually iterating through all the requests and adding all the objects, sObjects available in that list to another list, which is called complete sObject list, and you can see this is of type sObject. So that's what we are doing here. Then within here we are checking if the list size of sObject is greater than 0. If it's greater than 0, we are checking for the object operation type. And if it is insert, we are calling the standard database insert method with the complete list of sObjects. And based on the operation, if there are some issues with the operation, we are calling actually another method called publish exception. So this is a util class called exception util. Inside the exception util, you can see there is a publish exception method to which we are passing all the details like the object name, process name, and the list of save results. So what this particular method is doing, it is iterating over the list of save results and creating a record. And you can see this is a platform event record with the it is appended with __e. So a platform event is getting created with all the error details that we received from the insert operation. Now there is another method which is going to consume this platform event and create a normal record. So you might be wondering, like, instead of creating this exception record directly, why we need to create a platform event? So there are some advantages with platform event, because platform event is having a feature called publish immediately. So meaning, even if there are some unhandled exception and if your transaction is getting rolled back, if the exception details are fired using a platform event, it will be still logged into platform event. If it is a normal record creation, it is going to, that operation is also going to get rolled back. That's why nowadays for exception handling and logging, we are using platform event. So you have seen the details of our flowUtil class, which is reusable. That is, it will be accepting any kind of objects, object type, and we can perform operation. So here for demo purpose, I'm just handling insert operation only. Similarly, you will be able to perform update, delete, etc. Now let us go to our environment and see how this operation will be getting executed. For that, let me go to home page. In home page, basically I got a component where I can actually create new record. So I am on the home page now, and you can see a component. This is a screen flow component added to the home page called DML reusable. And here I am getting with an option to select object. So I have added two object options here, account and contact. Suppose I am creating, I would like to create a record for account. In that case, I can click on next, and now I will be given with an option to put account name. So I'm putting here as automation Dreamin demo account and clicking on next. So this screen flow is going to call our Apex method, and you can see that account records got inserted successfully, and you have the record ID also here. So maybe we can open the record and see if that got created correctly. Yeah, so this is the account record that we just created, automation Dreamin demo account. Now let us go back to the home screen, finish this, and let us try to create a contact record instead. So let me choose the object type as contact, and I'm clicking on next. And now you can see it is actually showing us two options like contact last name and contact email. So let us enter demo contact and email as automation Dreamin at demo, and let us click on next, and you can see it is showing a message that contact record got inserted successfully, and we have the record ID also here. So let us try to open this and see if the record got created successfully or not. You can see the record got created with the details that we just entered. That is name is demo contact, and the email is same as what we have entered. So this is an example, like where you can use reusable Apex methods. So to understand the details, let us go to the screen flow and see how it got implemented. This is the screen flow we use for we use to implement this flow, and here you can see this is the first screen where we will be able to select an object. So the select object is basically a pick list choice, and you can see I have two choices added to that. One is account and one is contact. We have only this object selection component as part of this first screen. In the second screen, you can see that all the fields that user needs to enter after selecting a particular object got listed here. But you can see everything is on the single screen. So how it is getting displayed based on the selected object, that is controlled through this set component visibility. So you can see the account name is getting displayed only if the selected object type is account. Similarly, if you go to contact last name, you can see it is getting displayed only if the object type selected is contact. So that's how we are entering details. Then we have got a decision element here checking what is the object type. So if it is account, then we have got an assignment statement here where the account name. So we have got a record variable called account record already. To that record variable, variable's account name, we are assigning the account name that user entered manually. Once this is assigned, like you have seen, the object or our method is actually accepting only a list of sObjects that you can see as part of this flow inputs wrapper class. So what we need to do is the created account record should be added to an account list. Once that is added, you can call the Apex action as the next operation. You can see we are calling invoke Apex DML Apex action here, and the parameters passed are the object type is account, operation type is insert, and the variable list of variable we are passing the account list that we just added with the newly created account. Similarly, the flow is exactly same for contact also. Here contact, to the created contact record variable, we are assigning the last name and email that is created or entered by the user. Then we are adding it to a list of contact list, and we are calling the Apex action to insert the record with all the parameters, that is the object type as contact, operation type as insert, and the list of sObjects as contact list. This is how you will be able to create a reusable screen flow using a reusable Apex method. Let us see one more use case which is based on record triggered flow, and in this record triggered flow also we are trying to consume the same Apex action that we just created. So here the requirement is that whenever we are creating a new lead object, the lead object is having a lookup to populate a marketing rep associated with that lead. So whenever a lead is getting created successfully with the marketing rep populated, we need to create a new task and assign that to the marketing rep. So here we are trying to see how we will be able to utilize the same DML operation to create the task also. For that, let us go back to our environment again and let us go to the lead tab. Now I am going to create a new lead. And we are going to name it as Automation Dreamin lead. Company is Automation Dreamin. And what we need to populate is the marketing rep. So I have got a user already called marketing rep, and I will be populating that particular user to this lookup. And let me click on save. We are keeping the default values for all other fields. You can see the lead got created successfully, and on the related list, activity related list, you can see there is a task created already and assigned to the marketing rep. Now let us go to the flow and see how this is getting implemented. For that, this is the flow for record trigger flow. You can see it is a record triggered flow and it is getting executed when a lead is getting created, and there are some condition. The first level is a decision box. In the decision box, it's checking if the record marketing rep field is populated already. If it is populated, then we have the statement here for creating the task, and we can see for the task, the subject assigned to ID, name ID, everything is getting populated from the newly created record. And then we have the operation to assign this to a task list, like we have seen in the screen flow also. After this, we are calling the create task or the common invoke apex DML apex action, but this time with the object type as task and operation again insert and sObject list as the task list that we just created. So this is how we will be able to call reusable apex methods from a record triggered flow. I hope this was useful to develop reusable Apex invocable method in the future for some of your requirements. These are some references to understand more about this feature. This is one of my blog posts where I have given all the details of how this can be implemented, and these are some standard Salesforce blogs which contains more details about this. And if you would like to connect with me for some future reference and other details, you can follow me or connect using LinkedIn. Thank you so much everyone for attending, and once again thank you Automation Dreamin team for having me as part of this wonderful event. Enjoy the rest of the event and thank you so much.